It is Saturday, June 14th, and the weekend of chaos is here. The No Kings nationwide protests scheduled around the country going completely off the rails. We're following breaking reports about what's happening in D.C., in New York, in Minnesota. We have the latest, including who was behind the awful attacks on those Democrat lawmakers. You won't believe this. Also, Israel declaring full complete air superiority over Western Iran, including over their capital, Tehran. So much happening here, way more than meets the eye. Why is Trump okay with this? We may have the answer, and more stories as well from around the country. If you appreciate these updates, make sure to like, subscribe. All of it helps out, and we appreciate it. So only a few days ago, Melissa Hartman, a Democrat Minnesota lawmaker, was forced to tears for doing her job, for voting to pass a budget bill that included a provision to repeal health care benefits for illegal aliens.
The debate was emotional and at times very personal for some of them, and there were concerns that the fierce pushback could derail the deal.
What I worry about is the people who will lose their health insurance. I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision. And we tried any other way we could to come to a budget agreement with Republicans, and they wouldn't have it.
Bringing her to tears, scaring her of the repercussions of voting yes on this legislation. And it turns out she may have had every reason to be scared. This morning, her and her husband attacked, killed in their car by a member of Tim Walz's Workforce Development Board. You can't make this up. You heard that right. We have breaking news on this. The suspect involved in the shooting of those two Minnesota Democrat lawmakers, it turns out 57-year-old Vance Bolter, not some random madman, a madman nonetheless, but a Tim Walz appointee. He was nominated by Governor Walz personally to sit on his Workforce Development Board. Police holding a press conference updating the public about what they know so far, admitting Vance Bolter had a manifesto inside his vehicle, which they've yet to release. We have some info about it. Adding the manifesto includes other lawmakers, up to 70 names of politicians, high-profile people. Additionally, they found No Kings posters inside his car as well. This is important. Watch.
Breaking news, the Associated Press is reporting authorities are searching for a 57-year-old man suspected of shooting two Minnesota lawmakers. The suspect is identified as 57-year-old Vance Belter. Police were searching for the gunman responsible for the attacks on the Democratic legislators. Writing found inside a fake police car recovered at one of the shooting scenes mentioned the names of multiple lawmakers and other officials. We will continue tracking the story.
I'll stand for any questions.
Are there reasons to believe that these events were also targeted by the person in the manifesto in the car?
We don't have any direct links. However, there were some flyers that said No Kings within the suspect vehicle. And as we know, the planned events throughout the state of Minnesota today is a No Kings event.
Look, this shows once again, politicians on the left, they need to seriously tone down the rhetoric. They are radicalizing their own voters against themselves. That's when you know you've gone too far, when you're scared of your own people. CNN revealing the manifesto has a list of 70 additional names, high-profile names. Watch.
We have team coverage. Let's start with CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller. What have you learned about this hit list that police say was found in the suspect's car? He's now on foot. He left the vehicle and possibly a lot of other valuable tools.
Well, the car is a treasure trove of clues and potential clues, not just forensically, but things in plain sight. What we're told from law enforcement sources briefed on the investigation is that there are a cache of additional weapons inside that car, indicating that the suspect was loaded for additional targets, possible confrontations with law enforcement or security, a large amount of ammunition. In an ammunition bag, they found a Father's Day card, presumably addressed to the suspect. But there is also this manifesto which lays out his issues. And on top of that, a very, very long list of names, approximately 70 names. This includes numerous state legislators from Minnesota, but it also includes other elected officials, a couple of mayors. It includes other places in Minnesota, including medical clinics, abortion providers, pro-life advocates, and it includes some locations and individuals from out of state.
President Trump, though, not deterred by any of this. War breaking out in the Middle East, nationwide protests scheduled this weekend, and Trump still preparing for his big, beautiful military parade in Washington, D.C. this morning. Cool as a cucumber, something Trump has been overly excited about. For whatever reason, Trump really wants this military parade. And it's happening today. Posting on X this morning, our great military parade is on. Rain or shine, remember, a rainy day parade brings good luck. I'll see you all in D.C. This military parade, as we all know, something the U.S. doesn't normally do. Is it necessary? Personally, I don't think it is. The price tag is up there. I've seen figures in the hundreds of millions of dollars. That's our tax money. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is it worth it? Is it necessary? Regardless, it's happening. Trump's critics using this parade as a hook to launch their No Kings demonstrations. Dems in the media backing and promoting these nationwide protests. Watch MSNBC this morning, fanning the flames, even blaming Trump for what happened in Minnesota. Watch.
By the overwhelming majority of Americans, regardless of political party and regardless of who the subject of the assassination is. That's a very red line that'll be crossed. And I wonder if some of these protests around the country, including yours, whether that's a unifying force, where people are going to come out and say, we want our democracy a certain way. We have the right to protest. It's a First Amendment right. We don't cross lines into political violence.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope that this is a unifying moment, but unfortunately, as we've seen time and time again, it usually isn't. We have too many people and too many elected officials, including the current occupant of the White House, who escalates rhetoric and violent rhetoric against political opponents. And that leads to these kinds of tragic events. It is absolutely unacceptable, and every single elected official should be condemning this, regardless of their political party. But I don't have the greatest hope for some people to actually come out and do that, unfortunately.
Jacob.
These protests happening all over the country. You can see them on this map, happening in every single state. The only place they're not happening is in D.C., which is odd. These protests extremely well organized, funded. Are we about to see mass civil unrest? That's what we're hearing. Anna Paulina Luna, the chairwoman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, someone who's in the know, warning on X this morning, do not attend the No Kings protests. I have screenshots circulating that leftists are going to wear MAGA gear in an attempt to cause chaos. All of this professionally organized, someone paying for it, clearly orchestrating it. James Comer, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, launching a formal investigation into the dark money networks and political affiliations of, get this, billionaire Neville Roy Singman. Suspected of long funding far-left color revolutions in the States, Neville Roy Singman amassed his fortune through founding ThoughtWorks. If you ever heard of that company, an IT consulting firm, I heard of them years ago, which he later sold for almost $800 million. Now his net worth well over $1 billion. Currently, guess where he is? A U.S. national with a giant fortune, deciding to not move to some island paradise, buying an island for himself, instead moving to mainland communist China. There is just so much happening right now. It's like sensory overload. You have what's happening overseas, the Middle East on fire, the war breaking out between Israel and Iran, Ukraine and Russia still at war, the National Guard deployed in the States, in LA, and now these No Kings marches launching today nationwide. All of it, not a good look for President Trump. And Dems know it. I'll be honest, we want to see peace, calm around the world, like during Trump 1.0. We've had 4 years of chaos under Joe Biden. Trump supposed to be the antidote, the peace candidate, the peace president, the deal maker in chief. The good news, is that Trump isn't ideological at all. There are people around him who are, don't get me wrong, but Trump is not in the slightest. Everything Trump does is transactional, which is what you want in a president. His goal is to end these foreign conflicts, which is why greenlighting Israel's war against Tehran, a massive gamble. This morning, Israel declaring full and complete air supremacy over Western Iran, including over the capital of Iran, Tehran. Benjamin Netanyahu updating Israelis last night by saying in the very near future, you will see Israeli Air Force jets over the skies of Tehran. We will strike every site and every target of the Ayatollah's regime. Also releasing this graphic showing exactly what they have successfully struck thus far. What we're seeing here is full-scale war. Israel now at war with Iran. No more proxies. This is direct kinetic warfare between Israel and Iran. The goal, to end the current Iranian regime. The Ayatollah, he's now fair game. He's probably in hiding. The Mossad either knows where he is or is looking for him. The Israelis not messing around. This is their moment, they feel, to end this once and for all. The problem with that is when you think this through, what's the best case scenario? Best case scenario, they successfully topple the regime, I suppose. But what pops up in its place? Who knows? We've seen this before. Every time it happens, it ends terribly.
Very briefly, this war is going to go on in the Middle East for at least another 2 weeks. You're going to see a level of devastation that we have not seen probably historically in many people's lives, probably since World War II. And this is regime change time. Israelis are done, and I don't blame them. We need a benevolent leader inside of Iran to rise up. We don't need somebody flying in from Paris who's been making billions off the backs of other people. We need somebody from inside the regime, and we need the CIA the hell out of there.
Right. And what do you see? I mean, you know the region better than anyone. What's the probability of those events occurring, getting a better secular leader who's not at war with us?
Yeah, I think it's very high, actually. I think that there's some people that are identified. It is the most important thing is, at what point in time does Israel make the decision? And they are hunting right now. They are definitely, the guys on the ground are hunting for the leadership they've devastated the leadership, just like they did devastating the leadership of Hamas, Hezbollah. They're devastating the leadership of Iran right now, the military, the IRGC, the political leadership. And, we haven't heard about the Ayatollah yet. I guarantee he's in hiding. His life is at risk, and that's fine. I do think that the Israelis need whatever capabilities they need, because this thing is going to go on. My belief is for another couple of weeks. They are not done with the level of destruction of the nuclear capability. We have to face the fact that since really the Obama regime, Iran, the leading state sponsor of terrorism in the world, has been developing a nuclear weapon, and they've had years to develop it. Their level of enrichment of uranium is at a level that they were ready to come out with bombs here, in the next couple of weeks, if not days.
There's also the Russia angle here. If Israel succeeds, it will cut off Russia's supply of Iranian missiles and drones, putting more pressure on Putin, helping Ukraine. All of this reeking like traditional U.S. neocon foreign policy. All of it gamed out. Trump just needs to stay out of it completely. He's always been smart enough to not fall for it. This time, though, he's using Israel as the stick to get his Iran nuke deal. The problem is this is now a war. Iran is a giant country. I really think Trump may have made a dire mistake here. The neocons will want his head if he doesn't fully support Israel, and the people, his voters, feeling betrayed by him, doing the exact opposite of what he promised, not starting any new wars. We just better hope that Iran doesn't decide to strike a U.S. military base. To be honest, that would be the smartest thing they could do. Psychologically speaking, that would be the worst thing imaginable for Donald Trump. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you support Trump greenlighting this? Do you support Trump fully supporting Israel? Let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Like, subscribe. We appreciate you watching.